We had some, pretty difficult figures out of China for Apple. How do you win the Chinese market? If you have the good product, does it sell, or is there a sapping of demand overall?
Well, I think Kering has performed very, very well thanks to the repositioning of Gucci, in particular to attract two types of customers, the millennial customer and the Chinese customer. And at the intersection of that is the Chinese millennial customer is very drawn to that brand. So we see that through our research. That's a customer that's driving a lot of market demand, and that brand is at the top of the pyramid. So maybe we have seen a slight kind of a softening of the demand. 28% growth for the group, that's quite remarkable by any standard. So maybe it's an effect of digestion. The risk is always that what's in fashion becomes out of fashion, although we don't tend to see this looking at that brand in particular.
Yeah, so how do you stay relevant, actually? Because this is a good point. It's like they're waves, right? You're fashionable and people want glitz, and then they want understated, and then they want glitz again. I
think to stay relevant, the strategy of both LVMH and Kering has been pretty smart, which is to build a portfolio of brand. So at any point of time, a specific brand might be the most performing brand. A couple of years ago for Kering, it was Saint Laurent, which has grown into multi-billion euros of sales. Now it's Gucci, and behind now they have Balenciaga, which is probably the hottest brand coming behind. So they are in good shape.
Okay, so is it all about the creative director, or is it actually marketing strategies?
Actually, that's a good point, because you see brands who combine both. Sometimes you've got creative force, like you have at Gucci, and the new designers kind of reinvented the brand. And in others, they are less promoting the designer, but it's more certain style, like they do for Saint Laurent. So I don't think there is a specific answer. Consumers are hard to predict. Again, the portfolio approach is probably the right one.
Okay, Frederic, talk to me a little bit about Felix Capital. So when you look at some of the portfolios you have, so you have Deliveroo, you have Goop, and then you're going into one or two more areas, right? One is health, men's health specifically, and then something about e-scooters.
Yeah, so that might sound kind of a breadth of areas of interest. We are interested in how technology is changing the way we live. So we've talked about fashion, talked about media, we talked about food, but also health and mobility are two huge segments. So if we take mobility as an example, we've seen the rise of Uber transforming from a simple little app that started in San Francisco, transforming the relationship of people to their cars and mobility generally globally. Now we see a new category or subcategory emerge, which is the electric scooter category, when cities want less pollution, less traffic, and that might become a key tool in the city toolbox for mobility. So,
Frederic, when you build your portfolio, do you look at companies that actually almost naturally hedge each other, or are you waiting for the company that becomes huge?
So we're not looking for edges. We are absolutely looking for companies that might become very large, like a Farfetch or like a Deliveroo. These tend to be platforms. So we look at brands, we like Manuel, the Manuel, the wellness men brand we backed. We look at platforms, and we looked at software for these brands. It's kind of building a portfolio around those themes. Obviously, we want to find the company that might be adopted by the most people. Platforms tend to be the best bets in that context.
And so what's the ideal scenario? Is that it gets bought out by someone bigger, or is that something that actually you would not want for one of your companies?
The best example, which I can't comment too much on because I'm on the board, it's a public company now, it's a company called Farfetch, where I backed the founder almost 10 years ago, where it was a 10-man band. 10 years later, now the company is public, and that founder wants to, has made the choice to remain independent, and we are very happy to support entrepreneurs' choices. Okay,
do you have anything else coming up in the next couple of months? That's you have men's health, so you have e-scooters, you have food. Is there something that you don't have that you'd want?
Actually, that's a good point. We are very interested in beauty, the beauty segment. So wellness generally, we are interested in. We did that with food, with men wellness. So the beauty segment, which is transformed by younger customers, Gen Z and millennials. So that's something we are really interested in, and we keep digging.